Good morning, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm in Alabama and I'm meeting out with my friends Bill and Katie, and we're gonna be looking for alligator snapping turtles in Blackwater River. I got in at like 2 a.m. last night and just slept in my car, and it's like 35 degrees outside, so it's pretty chilly. But as soon as the sun warms up, we'll get up and we'll get on the water and see what we can find. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. I'll see you out there.
Before we get to the river, take a look at the landscape surrounding it. The coastal plains of the southeastern US used to be mostly covered in longleaf pine savanna, just like this. Sadly, only a tiny fraction of this habitat remains today. All these trees and grasses and the sandy soil beneath them filter groundwater as it flows along tributaries and up from springs into pristine Blackwater rivers. In the shallow areas, this river looks basically orange, but in the deeper parts, the water quickly absorbs the light that hits it and appears quite dark.
So unfortunately, Bill's not feeling all that great, so they had to run in town to get some stuff. I'm gonna send the drone up and get an aerial view of the river, see what it looks like. Thankfully the sun's out, but man, this water is cold. It's gonna be tough getting under there, but the viz looks great, so hopefully we can get out and find some alligator snapping turtles.
The thin amber vein of this slow-moving Blackwater River weaves its way through the forest where, at this time of the year, only a few autumn leaves remain. That tea-stained appearance of the water is the result of macromolecules called tannins, which are released by decaying plant material and cause the vibrant coloration. Blackwater rivers tend to be more acidic with low oxygen, and since it hasn't rained in this region for a while, this river is particularly bright and clear today. However, these Blackwater rivers generally don't allow much light to penetrate below the surface, so there's typically not a lot of aquatic plant life growing within them. Nevertheless, they still hold an abundance of wildlife beneath, that hide in the deeper bends and underneath the fallen limbs and logs that crisscross all along the river's course.
Got about every piece of warm gear on that I have, which only addition is gloves and little booties, but the booties don't fit inside my fins, so they may have to come off. But the water is pretty cold. There's some springs that feed into it, but it's still a river, so it's about 55 degrees. Yeah, so it's gonna be chilly, but we can do what we can to find some turtles. So here goes nothing.
Before I'd even stuck my head below the surface, I heard Katie call out to come over to where she was. I waded through the river, dipped my face in the frigid waters, and looked where she was pointing. Sure enough, right off the bat, she had found a huge alligator snapping turtle resting beneath a pile of logs on the bottom of the river. I moved to the other side of the river to get a closer look. This alligator snapping turtle was quite large and had a beautiful yellow head. If I had to guess, I'd say this turtle was about 80 pounds or more. Alligator snappers are the largest freshwater turtle species in the US, with the record being over 200 pounds. There was also a massive leech on this individual's neck, which might look kind of scary, but for an ancient turtle like this, it's pretty normal to pick up a few hitchhikers along your life's journey. If you're new to the channel, please know that this kind of luck isn't normal. It often takes an incredible amount of effort to find the animals we're looking for, but today, well, it was a good day, thanks to Katie. Assuming this monster-sized turtle wasn't going anywhere anytime soon, we moved further on upstream to look for others. There were quite a few underwater snags that looked promising, but we didn't find any additional turtles right away. The downed trees made navigating the river a little challenging at some points. However, While it's easy to think of downed trees as just obstacles in the river, these sunken structures provide important habitat for turtles as well as other aquatic life. Eventually, we gave up on swimming for a bit and walked up a sandy bottom stretch to a particularly deep bend in the river where we would need our fins once again.
I accidentally put lube on my feet, and my flippers are barely hanging on.
As I dove down in the pool, I was amazed at how the light pierced through below. Fish darted away in the distance, and what from the surface may have just looked like a brown river filled with dead sticks, I could now appreciate for the spectacular aquatic realm that it was. Don't ever underestimate a Blackwater River. There's quite a bit of limestone along the bottom in this area, and sure enough, at a little pocket in the bend in the river, relatively warm spring water was flowing out of a small hole. Spring water is about 70 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm guessing the river was 55 degrees Fahrenheit today, so it definitely felt nice to float in the spring in the flow for a second. Not far away, I noticed a quick movement under a log. It wasn't a snapping turtle, but instead was a large female map turtle. I knew it was a female because for this species, the males are actually way smaller than the females. This girl was about the size of a dinner plate, but a male would have been hardly bigger than my fist. I guess sometimes size really doesn't matter. She disappeared pretty quickly under a log though, and I couldn't find her again. With one last dive down in the bend, we started making our way back downstream. As much as we looked beneath the cypress roots and fallen trees along the river, we didn't find any additional alligator snapping turtles. So we made our way back to spend a little more time with the large one we found in the beginning. Sure enough, like some prehistoric river troll, it was hunkered down in the exact same place. Alligator snapping turtles have pretty tight home ranges and will stay within a relatively small area of the river for much of their life, which can be more than 40 years. I took some time to admire some of the details on this amazing creature. Their large beak is used to crush prey, which is mostly fish, but they'll also eat just about anything they can scavenge, including some plants. Although these alligator snapping turtles can look pretty scary, they mostly sit and wait for their prey to come to them, and unless you stuck your hand or foot inside their mouth, they really pose no danger to humans at all. You can't see it, but inside their mouth they have a pink lure that they can wave around to draw in fish before crushing them in their jaws. This individual had an impressively long tail, and you can also see the spikes and ridges running down the back of its shell. Although these ridges can fade as the turtles age, alligator snapping turtles have much more texture and defined ridges than the common snapping turtles that they are often confused with. These turtles were historically hunted for their meat to the point of decline, but today are a protected species in many states. However, they still face a number of threats. Many turtles often die as bycatch on lines set out for catfish. They also are threatened by the pollution of their pristine river habitat. This small Blackwater River may not seem like much at first glance, but it holds a weird and wild world of life in its tea-stained waters. Hopefully, it will continue to for years to come. At this point, I was freezing, so it was time to say goodbye to this Alabama alligator snapper.
All right, well, it's not every day when you find your target animal or target species within 1 minute sticking your face underwater. And I didn't even put my face in the water yet, and Katie was the one to find it so fast. But I mean, that's kind of part of the nature of alligator snapping turtles, is they really like to stay in their territory. So got pretty lucky. Super cold, can't really feel my feet anymore. Gloves came in clutch though, so that was nice. It's a beautiful system. The light in this Blackwater River, like seepage springs that feed into it, just, oh man, the light beams, and so beautiful. I think that about does it for me. Bill and Katie left already. Poor Bill, he's not feeling good, couldn't get in the water, but I know he'll be back up here. But I am probably gonna get out and get warm and head home. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. You see these things, like I can see them and I know that they're there, but I can't feel them. Too cold.